All right, welcome back to another video, and in this one we're going to be talking about adding maps to your React Native applications. So for this we're going to be using Expo, and we're going to be using a package called map view over here. So you can head over to the Expo docs up here and check it out if you like. So the first thing that we want to do is come down and install it using Expo. So we're going to go Expo install React Native maps, and I've already done this. And also you want to have an Expo project up and running in order to do this. So in order to do that, I'll leave a link in the description on how you get up and going with Expo if you do not have any experience with it. So with that preamble said, let's get into this. So in this app, we're going to be using some maps. So we're going to do a bunch of different stuff. We're going to first come in and just show you how Maps works. So there's Apple Maps and Google Maps both within this package, and we'll show you how both of them work. And then we're going to have some pins on our map, some markers, some different stuff like that. Some different, like a callout, which is sort of like a tooltip type thing. Oh, and then finally, we're going to add a kind of search component. So we're going to be able to search different locations and then add pins to those locations in our map. We're also going to add kind of the ability to drag a pin and stuff like that. So a bunch of different map stuff to get you going in your React Native Maps journey here. So let's get into this. So come over, like I said before. You're going to copy over this Expo install React Native Maps, and then you are going to add that to your project. So I already have it here, but if you didn't, you'd come in here, add a new window, come in here and paste this in like this, Expo install React Native Maps. And again, this is our kind of blank project that we already have set up here. So if you look here, all we have is basically an app.js where we're going to do the majority of our, well, I guess all our work in this project. So that is all we have. So we can close this out and then we can get started in here. And as you see, all we have is some text with a view, and that is about it. So I've already yarn started. If you want to start up your Expo project, you hit yarn start. And then we have our app over here running in our simulator. And all we have is this maps, of course. All right, so the first thing we want to do is just get a map up and going here. So we can come back over to the Expo docs here. And basically, we can just copy this example over right here just to show you how it'll look. So we'll copy this entire thing over, come back over to our code here. And we're just going to paste this in like this and save that. All right, so when you save that and refresh our simulator over here, you can see that we just have a basic map here. Now, of course, we have no location or anything. So we're just getting, looks like all of North America here, a little South America in there. So let's remedy that. So in order to remedy that, we can add an initial region, which our map will go to on load. So if we come over to the docs again, now these are the React Native Maps docs, so check those out. We can come in here and we'll just copy this location. But basically, you're going to get a longitude, a latitude, and then a latitude and longitude delta. So let's copy those over, come back over here, and in our map view that we already have here, we're just going to paste this in to give us an initial region, just like this, and we'll hit save. So hopefully latitude and longitude is going to be pretty self-explanatory, but the latitude delta and the longitude delta is basically going to be your zoom level on your map. So how far in you are going to be zoomed in. All right, so with that, we can see that this latitude and longitude is San Francisco. There's the base case they have here, and that is looking pretty good. So the next thing I think we want to get going is adding a pin to our map here. So let's come down inside of our map view. So we're going to actually get rid of this here, and we'll close this off with a map view like this, and then come in here. And inside of this, we're going to add a marker, it's called. So we're going to say marker, and we're going to auto import that from React Native Maps there. All right, so this marker is going to take a few different values, but the main one we need right now is going to be coordinate like this, and that is going to be equal to, and we can get this latitude and longitude from here. So we'll just copy that over and paste this in here, just like that. And then we want to close off this marker like this. Okay, and then if we save this, and we refresh over here, you can see that our marker is showing up. And just by default, it's going to be a red pin like that when we're on the Apple Maps here. So let's actually close out of this just to give us a little bit more room here and we can see things. So we can also change this pin color easily by just going pin color like this, and we can just say black. Can't spell black, and save that. And then we get black, and of course you can do different colors and whatever you like for that. Okay, so that is looking pretty good. Now, what if we wanted to add a few other things? Like we can add a callout, which is basically going to be like a tooltip. So when we click on the actual pin, we can add some text. So just like in the map view, we opened up our tags here. We're going to go like this and do the same for the marker here. So go like this again. And then inside of this marker, we can add what's known as a callout. And again, we're going to auto import that from the React Native Maps library. And then inside of this callout, we can add whatever we want. So we'll just add some text here. And then inside of the text, we'll just say I'm here. And if we go ahead and save that, we're not getting our text. Make sure you bring in text up top here in your React Native here. Like this, scroll down, and now if we click on this here, we see we get a little pop-up. I'm here. So that is pretty great. All right, and now let's go check out the docs a little bit here. So you can see there's a bunch of different stuff that we have available to us. So we used our marker already, we used our callout. And then we could add a bunch of different shapes here. So a polygon, a circle, an overlay. Let's just add a circle just to show you what that looks like. So again, we can just come in here anywhere inside of our map view here. So we'll go below our marker right here and we'll just add a circle. And you want to auto import that. And then this circle is going to have a center just like this. And that is going to be equal to whatever we want. So for us, we'll just add this same longitude and latitude again. And we'll just paste that in there. And then come down here and we can add a radius as well. Radius, and that's going to be equal to, this is in meters. So depending on how far you want your distance of the radius. And then we can just close this off like this. And there's a bunch of different stuff you can add as well. You could add fill color. Anyways, a ton of different stuff you can take a look at in the docs. Then if we check out our simulator over here, you can see that we got the circle around this here. So now, what if we wanted to take this pin and make it draggable? Right now, it's stationary. We can't drag it anywhere. So if we wanted to do that, we can do that fairly simply. So we're going to come in up to our marker again. Come down below our pin color right here. And the first thing we're going to do is say draggable, and that's going to be equal to true. So that's necessary in order to make it draggable. And then we're going to have a couple different functions here. So we're going to have an on drag start. Come down here, and that is going to be equal to, we're going to open up some braces, and we're going to say the event here. And then again, open up some braces. So on drag start, we're just going to console.log. Our start. We'll just say drag start like this. And then we're going to console.log the event. So e.native event it's called. And then we're going to get the coordinates from that. Just like this. And then we're going to do the same thing. So let's copy this down right below it. And we'll say on drag end here. Just like this, and we'll get E. And then let's add some state. So we're going to actually set the pin in state. So instead of adding our marker here in terms of coordinates, let's come up to the top here, and below our app, let's bring in some state using useState. So we'll go const, and we will say pin and set pin like this, and then that'll be equal to useState. And bring this in just like that. And then we're going to come down and replace our coordinates right here with the actual pin. So come up here, and we're going to get rid of that, and we'll just say pin. And we'll take this longitude and latitude up here, and we'll set that to our state like this. And then we can go ahead and save that. So now we have the same thing. Our pin is still set, but now we have our region in state. So let's come down here, and now we can change this on drag end. So if we want to set the pin in a different spot, we can come in like this and say set pin, just like this. And we can add the latitude equal to e dot native event dot coordinate dot latitude, just like this. And then below we're going to do longitude, and we'll do the same thing, e dot native event dot coordinate dot longitude. All right, so this is what our pin should look like at the end. So we'll change the actual location of our pin. So go ahead and save this, and then come over and take a look at this. So now we can click on this. It's gonna say I'm here still, but then if we hold down and drag, you can see we can actually move it around the map here to wherever we want. So we wanted to drop it over here in Alcatraz, and we can drop that like this. Now this circle isn't moving again because we haven't, we set our center to this, but say we wanted to set this instead to the pin, and we actually got to get rid of this, get rid of this, and save that. Now our circle will follow our pin just like that. All right, so as of now, we've been working with the Apple Maps, but often you'll want to use the Google Maps maybe. So let's go and change that. And that's going to be super easy to do. So we're going to come into our map view over here, below here. And all we have to do is say provider, like this. And that's going to be equal to Google, just like that, and save that. And now you can see we get the Google Maps in a little bit different style from the Apple Maps. And again, the same thing. Our markers look a little bit different, but everything else should be basically the same. All right, so everything's looking pretty good right now, but I do want to add a little more functionality to this app. So let's add a search component to this. So what we're going to do is install a library called Google Places Autocomplete. That'll allow you a little search bar, and then we'll set our maps from there. So come back over. It's this library here from Fareed Safi, and it's React Native Google Places Autocomplete. So come down to this yarn or npm install, whichever you're using, and yarn add React Native Google Places Autocomplete. So come back over, open up a new window, and we're going to paste this in just like this. I used yarn, so yarn add React Native Google Places Autocomplete. Now I already have this, so I'm not going to run it, but go ahead and run that, and then we'll get right into it. All right, so once you have that installed, we're going to have to go to the Google console over here. So let's come over here, and we're going to go to console.cloud.google.com, and we're going to have to sign up for and get an API key from the Google Maps platform here. All right, so once you're on this API's overview here, we're in the main section. Go ahead and create a new project here. I have my React Native Maps project, but go ahead and add a new project. And then we're going to come over to this Pick APIs. So we're going to click on this, and then we're going to search for Google Places here. And then the Places API is going to pop up, so click on that. And then I already have this enabled, but you want to enable this in your project. So once you have that, you should be basically good to go. All right, so next we're going to come into our credentials over here, and we're going to get or create a new API key, and this is mine right here. So we're going to copy this API key because we're going to use it in our project. I'm going to just delete this after, so don't worry about copy, but don't copy mine because it won't work for you. So get an API key and then come back over to our project. Make sure you save that. All right, so once you have that API key saved, let's actually go and check out the documentation for this. Where is it here? Right over here. So let's go and just copy over this basic example here. So I'm going to go and grab this from the docs. And then we're going to come back over here. And I'm going to add this right above because we want our search component to be right above this. So that is good. And then let's actually bring in this as well. Make sure we're importing it correctly. So we're going to come up to the top and import this like this. And then as you can see down here, we have our API key. So get the API key that you created and paste it in here. Of course, if you're going to use any sort of production app or something, do not paste your API key up in the open. Use a .env, but just so you can see, this is what we're going to do for simplicity's sake right now. All right, so you can go ahead and save this. And if it refreshes, you can see nothing's showing up right now. But if we come in, let's actually get rid of these styles for now. And we're just going to add a margin top here of 50. And then we'll say flex 1 like this and save that. And then we're going to come down below our query here and add in a few styles into this Google Places autocomplete. So I'm just going to paste these in. Basically, it's going to look like this. We're just going to have a container with a flex of 0, position absolute, width of 100, and a z index of 1. And then we're going to add some background color to our list view. So let's go ahead and save that. And now you can see on this right side, we have this search component that shows up. Now, if we press something, let's start to type here. You can see we have this drop down of different stuff. Now this is great, but it's not really searching our area or anything, so we can improve on this. Again, we got this little X in the corner automatically, so we can click out of that. All right, so we want to add something to this Google Places autocomplete here. So right now we just have search, that's fine. So let's come below that though, and we're gonna say fetch details. Now this fetch details is gonna be provide us the actual details here below. And we're going to use that because we're going to set our coordinates, which are going to be our latitude and longitude of the places that we search. And then we're going to get that from the details. So we have to make sure that's true here. So we'll say true like this. Then below that, we can add a Google Places search query like this. And then inside here, we're going to add a few things. So come down and we'll say we can rank stuff by. So rank by here, and we're going to say distance. So we want things that are closest to us to be ranked ahead of other things. So rank by distance, and then that's all we're going to actually do. So let's save that. All right, so now let's come down inside of our query because we want to add a few different things here. So right now we got our language is English, which is good. We can add something called components here, and we can say the country like this, and that's going to be, we'll go US, but add whatever country you like. And then we'll go types. So this is the types of things we're searching for. So for us, we're just going to say establishment, but you can add again like parks or whatever you're looking for. If you look up the Google Places docs, it'll show you a list of all the different types of things that you want to search for. Right now, let's do a radius. And again, this is in meters. So we'll do let's do 30,000 meters. Save that. All right, and then let's add a location. So let's come in here. So this is basically going to sort by things that are close to us. So we want to add our location of where we're at for the query. So in order to do that, we're going to say location, and then we're going to do backticks here. And we're going to say our latitude and then our longitude. So let's actually add this in state up here. So let's come and add a new thing. So we can just copy this down actually. And we'll say region. And we'll say set region. Like this. And then we're going to have our latitude and longitude just like that. So that is great. And then in order to add that to our location in here, we're going to go $, and then we're going to say region dot latitude, and then we will say comma, and then $, again, and region dot longitude, just like this. Oh, looks like we copied down an extra one right there, so get rid of this. Go ahead and save that, and now we're back here again. All right, so now if we search this, hopefully we're getting stuff around the San Francisco area here. Let's say, so we got the Golden Gate Bridge, all that different stuff, all looking pretty good. And we can click on that and it will fill it in for us. But we're not actually getting anything when we press on this. So what we're going to want to do here is add another pin with this address so we can see us to the location basically. So in order to do that, let's actually add a latitude and longitude delta up to our state up here. So let's copy the one over from here and then come up here in our region here. We're just going to go like this and add the latitude and longitude delta like that. So we have that. And then we're going to come down here and we want to say on press, instead of just console login something, let's actually add it to state. So this will be pretty simple. So we're just going to go set region. And then inside of this, we're going to have the latitude just like this. And we'll say details dot geometry dot location dot lat. Okay, so it's lat for this one. Then we're going to come down here and say longitude, and same thing, details dot geometry dot location dot, and this one's going to be LNG for longitude. Okay, so that's looking good. And then we're just going to we'll set the same latitude and longitude here. We can just copy this over, which you don't need this probably, but we'll just paste this in and save that. So now we're setting in state the location of what we're searching. This is why we had to add the fetch details equals true, because the details are going to come back and that's where we're getting this geometry.location from. Okay, so that is looking pretty good. So the last thing we got to add is another marker to show where this is actually going to appear on our map. So let's come inside the map view here and let's add another one. So we'll add another marker. And then inside here, we're going to say coordinate, and that's going to be equal to, and we don't want the delta. So let's say latitude is going to be the region dot latitude, and then the longitude is going to be the region dot longitude, just like this. So let's close this marker off because we don't really need anything else. And then we'll go ahead and save that. And then now let's refresh this. And now we got our one marker right here. And if we go ahead and search something, let's just place the fine arts. Let's search that. And you can see our next marker shows up right over here. So pretty cool stuff. We got our two markers. We can search something, have it appear on the map, and then we can see kind of the distance between things. And again, we still have this. We could add this to, we could add a call out or whatever else we want to our other marker. So pretty neat. Hopefully that's useful and gets you started using React Native Maps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.